It is a beautiful morning here in Petrolia. We arrived late last night, set up camp, and just went straight to bed because we were so exhausted. My friend was out here camping too, so we decided to set up at his site. There's two ways to get to this campground, from north and from south. If you're coming from the north, you'll go through Ferndale. If you're coming from south, you'll go through Redway. And the drive out here is not for everybody. The road out here is mostly paved, but it's very windy, has some gravel spots, and has plenty of potholes. Oh, and quite narrow in some spots too. Right now I'm standing in the middle of all of the campgrounds. It's a big loop. There's a cement loop that goes all the way around, and the campgrounds are on the other side. The loop around the campground is about 3/4 of a mile. What I love about this campground is that the campsites are so big. The name of this campground is AW Way, but I personally just call it A Way. I grew up coming here almost every summer, so I'm very familiar with this campground. Now, some of the amenities they have. On this side, they actually have showers, which are operated by quarters, and then on the other side, there's bathrooms. Right across from these bathrooms is the entrance and where you pay. There are restrooms on both sides of the campground, but the one near the entrance is the only one that has showers. They do actually have a drinking fountain at this restroom as well. Restroom number 2, just a toilet and sink. And of course, all the campgrounds have a big bench and a fire pit with a grill. My dog Akua made friends with our camping neighbors, and they also brought their cat camping. It was so cute. It stayed close the whole time and mostly just lounged around all day. Our campsite is right here, and then you just walk to the back, and then this is how you get down to the river. The river is pretty low right now, but as you can see, there's a lot of access to it. It goes all the way around the corner and past that. This is crazy. I've never seen this river this low before. And this spot right here is the main swimming hole for the whole campground. Just be careful swimming here because there's logs and boulders under the water that you can easily hit your legs on. Probably about half of the campsites have direct river access from that specific campsite, but there is one spot that everybody can go down to the river at. Send it! Caitlin was diving down, and then she found this tiny little fish and was very excited about it. But when she dove down with the camera, she was having a hard time finding it again. There it is. It's gray with black stripes on it. The water was a bit chilly until you got all the way in, and then it was nice. Gotta love how clear that water is.
Good job.
So if you're at these bathrooms, just walk straight over to where this Tacoma is right here, and there's stairs to get down to the river. It's been pretty windy. I think I mentioned that earlier, but we forgot to stake down our tent, and it tipped. Now it's time for a tuna salad. We didn't bring any board games or anything to do to entertain ourselves, but we've just been going to the river and chilling in this hammock. What do you do for fun when you go camping? Bean dip with flaming hot Fritos. I got some water shoes on. I've never worn these before. They're a little funky, but they're cool. And now we're going to the river for the 3rd time today. They're pretty much like barefoot shoes, but like very barefoot shoes, because it's just a really thin insole and like a tiny amount of fabric underneath that. I actually just bought a pair of barefoot shoes because I'm trying to be better to my feet, because I climb a lot, and climbing shoes make your toes really squish together. We were gonna go to the main spot, but there's a lot of people over there, so we're just gonna walk up the river and see if we can find a better spot. We're gonna cross right here and hope that this is kind of deep right there. It's very windy. It's nice and secluded, but the water is actually a lot colder over here. I think because it's closer to the source. You can see the little creek coming out right here. It actually looks a lot deeper than it is. I'm standing in the deepest part right now. It's only up to a little bit above my stomach, and I'm only 5'2", so not very deep. Every place I've gone this summer, I have submerged my head under the water because it's a big fear of mine, and I wanted to conquer that fear. It is kind of like gross water though, because there's a bunch of sediment and like leaves and silt on the bottom. So with that, let's fucking do this. We're back from the river and we're getting that fire started up. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with putting my head underwater, and I think the next step to conquer the fear is to jump off of something into water. And there's a rock jump here. I showed it earlier in the video, my friend jumping off. It's scary, but it sounds kind of fun, and it never sounded fun before. But I also don't want to do it if there's a bunch of like strangers watching, and there was like a huge group of 15 people over there, so I didn't do it. Maybe before sunset I'll head over there and see how it's looking, because it looks like a bunch of kids are leaving right now, so maybe I'll do it. We got a little creative and we used the cardboard boxes that we had to make our own tic-tac-toe game. I don't know how, but I was really slacking and I lost quite a few times.
I win.
No, you don't. Oh. Next step, make a chessboard. You could probably already tell we messed this one up pretty good. For whatever reason, I was thinking that a chessboard is a 12 by 12. It's not. It's an 8 by 8. We've got the black and white on the board, and then we're just gonna mark the rocks. I wasn't thinking, and I made a 12 by 12 board instead of an 8 by 8, so we have a lot of extra spots on the board. But so we finished the board. It's all sorts of fucked up, but yeah, it'll be fun. Finished the game. It was fun. It was pretty hard to read the board because of all the extra spots and how like different sizes they were, and we were using rocks, but yeah, it was still a good time. Burrito time. Even though it's pretty hot during the day, it does get kind of nippy at night, especially with this breeze. I like my marshmallows golden brown. How do you like yours? We got Ghirardelli chocolate for the s'mores. It is so good. My friend was at this campsite for the last week, and I think they left some bubbles. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gonna try to blow some bubbles. Those are some good ones. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can see.
There's a lot of RVs out here, but there's actually no hookups for them. Almost every campsite has potable water though, at least, but that's about it. I've never seen a freaking toad before. I don't know if you can even see that. Good morning. We are going for a river dip. It's gonna be very cold. At least there's sunshine over here. Looks really nice right now. That's too scary. I thought this was going to work a lot better than it did, but since the water was up to my knees when I jumped in, I kind of just flopped.
That was better.
What's worse, folding up your sleeping bag or folding up your tent? I don't mind doing either, but the only thing that really bothers me is when your sleeping bag is too small or your tent bag is too small. And no matter how small you freaking roll that thing up, it just won't go in the bag. We took all of our stuff out of the tent and then turned it upside down and shook it out so we could get all the unwanted debris out. Camp always takes longer to clean up than you expect it to, so make sure you give yourself enough time. Checkout isn't until 1 p.m, so that gives you plenty of time to clean up. I forgot to take a picture of the feed board, but I'm just going to recreate one and put it on the screen for you. Now for the best part. We're all packed up and ready to go, but one more thing, if you're leaving north, there's a really awesome beach spot that you should check out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.